Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are continuing with our series of broadcasts or episodes about Gita Success. So we are speaking about success principles from the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the best success manual if you know how to use it. And one of the powerful success principles in the Bhagavad Gita is actually asking excellent questions. And Arjuna is asking excellent questions throughout the Bhagavad Gita, throughout various chapters. And I have collected these questions in one file. These are verses where Arjuna asks questions of Krishna. And we have been discussing in the last 2 weeks from the first part or third of the Bhagavad Gita. Actually, we didn't finish first part of the Bhagavad Gita. We have come to the 6th chapter, and where Arjuna, we have discussed a little bit in the 6th chapter, where Arjuna expresses that it's very difficult to control the mind. And then Krishna is explaining to him that it's possible with practice and detachment. And I think we have done this, except the last verse. So, in the last verse of the 6th chapter, which is a question, Arjuna says that this is my doubt, O Krishna. He is asking about a person who falls down from the path of transcendence. Falls down from the path of transcendence. Sorry. Because I don't broadcast video. So this person does not gain materially because he has given up material life and material goals, and he also spiritually, because he has left spiritual life, so spiritually he is also not gaining anything. So it's like he has no position in any sphere. He doesn't have a position in the material world, in the material society, and he doesn't have position in the spiritual life. So as a very, I would say, serious disciple, Arjuna is presenting his doubt to Krishna. Arjuna is presenting his doubt. So whenever a disciple has a doubt, then he should sincerely and openly present his doubt to his spiritual master. So Arjuna is asking Krishna politely to dispel completely his doubts. And he says that only you can destroy this doubt. And also it is said that Arjuna addressed Krishna as Madhusudana, which means the killer of the demon Madhu, and Arjuna is comparing his doubts as to demons. He is comparing his doubts to demons. As Madhu is a demon and Krishna has killed the demon Madhu, so Krishna says these doubts are like demons. So please kill this demon or dispel my doubt, destroy my doubt. And Krishna is explaining things and explaining that one who has actually left spiritual life after practicing for some time, he is never a loser and he will continue where he has stopped. If he falls away for some time, so he can continue. I'm getting messages from you that nothing is visible, and I'm not broadcasting video, I'm just broadcasting audio message. so it's only audio message. Maybe I will start doing video after some time, but for now I'm just doing audio message or audio message. So sorry about that. And then let us jump to the next two questions in the 8th chapter. And then we have some questions in the 10th chapter also. There is 3 questions in the 10th chapter. And there is a couple of questions in the 11th chapter. So let's see how far we can go. We will not hurry. We will not rush. We will do slowly. So in the Bhagavad Gita 8.1, Arjuna inquires, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Then the second verse, he continues with many, many questions, philosophical questions, questions about universal importance of universal value. Who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he live in the body, O Madhusudana? And how can those in personal service know you at the time of death? Now here Arjuna has asked so many important questions. Only in 2 verses, 8.1 and 8.2. He's asking so many important questions, and I'm not going to give you answers to these questions. You can read in the Bhagavad Gita as it is, the answers to these questions, but we can just look at what kind of questions he has asked. So we see that Arjuna's consciousness has changed as he was talking to Krishna. This is already the 8th chapter. So in the beginning, Arjuna was asking questions from a lower consciousness, from a different type of consciousness. He was asking questions from the bodily concept of life. And now he's asking questions which are more spiritual, He wants to know what is this world, what is this whole material manifestation, not only this planet Earth, what is the self, or what is the soul. Then what is Brahman? Brahman means absolute truth. So he wants to know what is Brahman. Then what are the demigods, the higher beings in this universe? Then who is the Lord of sacrifice, because he knows that people are doing sacrifices. And he says, how does he live in the body? So he knows that the Lord of sacrifice, or the expansion of God in our heart, is living in our body as the super soul or Paramatma. So he wants to know about the Lord who is following us in the material world. He is never leaving us, and he is the closest to us. He is next to the soul. No conditioned soul, no living being who has a material body can come closer to you than the Lord, because he is next to your soul. So somebody can hug you, somebody wants to be close to you physically, but they cannot come closer to you as far as your soul is concerned. And the Lord is just next to you in your heart, and he is guiding you. He is giving you knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. Matak smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishto matak smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am situated in the heart of every living being, and from me come knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. And then he's mentioning a very important question for us: how those engaged in devotional service can know you at the time of death. So one need to remember, if you want to go back to Krishna in the moment of death, then you need to remember Krishna, remember his holy name. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that whatever one remembers at the moment of death, he will attain this destination. So these two series of questions in 2 verses. There are several questions in 2 verses. There is, I think, 6 questions or 5 questions. And then let us go to the chapter 10, where Arjuna continues to ask questions. Yes, I'm sorry, only red screen. Yes, this is actually my finger. I put it, sorry, I put it on the camera. So because I'm not broadcasting. I mean, if I take off my finger, you will see my table, you will see my laptop. So it's better have one color here. I'm still not broadcasting video, but maybe after some time I will start. For now, I want to broadcast audio only. Okay, so Arjuna says, please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. Now this indicates that Arjuna is aware that the Lord has divine opulences and that they are pervading this whole world. Different energies that he has. So he wants to know more about it, and Krishna will explain about it. This is text 16 of the chapter 10, and in the text 17 of chapter 10, Krishna says, now he is asking highly important questions, very relevant for us. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? And the verse 18, O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So these do not sound like questions, but they are questions. Like, tell me in detail of your divine opulences. In other words, what are your divine opulences? And this in chapter 18, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. So these questions, they don't have a question mark, but they are actually questions. They are requests to hear more. And then very important, in the verse 18, he says, I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So if you read the Bhagavad Gita again and again, you will never get satiated, you will never get bored. It's always fresh, always new. You will find always new meaning and new inspiration and new guidance in the Bhagavad Gita. I have been reading Bhagavad Gita for about 38 years, and I also translated it into Serbo-Croat language, this Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada, and I have never gotten bored. And also Bhagavad Gita, I teach Bhagavad Gita as a success manual. It's full of success principles, but it's not full of tips how to make money because people think money means success, but it's full of actually tips or teachings how to develop high character, how to develop divine qualities, how to develop divine character. Arjuna is asking, how can I constantly think of you? And we know a very simple process of thinking of Krishna is by chanting his holy names. Chanting Hare Krishna and thinking of Krishna are non-different. And then he says, how shall I know you? In what various forms I should remember you? So how shall I know, how can one know Krishna? He can know Krishna from Krishna himself. In the Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is described, his name, form, qualities and pastimes, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. and we can read about it, hear about it from devotees, and in this way get to know Krishna more and more. And then there is various forms, Advaita Achyuta Manadi Mananta Rupam. There are various forms of the Lord. He is appearing in many, many forms according to the desire of his devotees. And Arjuna is asking, in which forms you are to be remembered? And of course, Krishna is saying that his form with two hands is the supreme form of the supreme truth of the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is as far as 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is concerned. So as you see, we have passed half of the Gita with these questions, and we have some questions in the 11th chapter and in the 12th chapter, in the 13th, 14th, 17th, and 18th chapter. So today we will look at some more questions in the 11th chapter. Krishna is saying, Krishna is also thanking, Arjuna is also thanking Krishna. He says, after hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. So you see, Krishna, by his answers, he has dispelled the illusion of Arjuna. He asked questions so that he can get free from confusion. Arjuna asked these questions so that he can get free from bewilderment. And the result, it's in the 11th chapter. It's not yet the end of the Gita, but Arjuna says, my illusion has now gone. He also says these are most confidential spiritual subjects, and he mentions hearing the instructions as an important process which helps personal transformation. So he says that I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity, and I have realized your inexhaustible glories. And then in the third verse of the 11th chapter, he says, "Can you show me your universal form?" Then he is asking to show unlimited universal self. So now Arjuna is asking more, to see more of Krishna's opulences and his manifestations, his different forms, incarnations. And these are not questions, but these are important because Arjuna is requesting, so it sounds a little bit like a question. And actually these questions prepare us for the question, the last verse in the 11th chapter, which is a question. It says, "O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. So, tell me who you are. I want to know about you, and I don't know what your mission is." So there is also, so he is curious to know Krishna and to know about Krishna and to know why he has appeared in this world. What is his mission? Okay, so this is chapter 11, and I will stop here, and thank you very much for listening. Then we will continue with chapter 12 next time. Maybe in a couple of days I will come back, and we can discuss more about Arjuna's questions. And I want to remind you that the reason why we are discussing these questions is because asking excellent questions is a powerful success principle. You can apply it to any area of your life. If you start asking better questions, your thinking will be better. And the result of better thinking is better conclusions. and the result of better conclusions is better decisions, and the result of better decisions is better action, and better action will bring better results. So you see there is a connection between excellent questions and excellent results. Therefore, I recommend to you to study Arjuna's questions carefully in the Bhagavad Gita and to train yourself to ask yourself better questions, whether when you are thinking within your mind, on if you are asking aloud yourself or others, asking aloud these questions, because if you have better questions, you will get better answers and better results. So we will, next time, we will look at the questions in the chapter 12, chapter 13, chapter 14, and chapter 17 and 18. And in this way, we will complete this discussion on the excellent questions that Arjuna has asked in the Bhagavad Gita. So thank you very much for listening. I wish you a nice day, and I wish you lots of spiritual strength on your spiritual journey. And please study the Bhagavad Gita, and if you have any questions, then you can send them in the comments below.